Your car doesn't look high-end. It's domestically produced. You should save more money to buy a Passat. 10 years ago, a Chinese car owner had this conversation with another Chinese car owner. Indeed, Chinese-made cars have been discriminated against at home and abroad for quite a long time. The insufficient quality and low price made them become synonymous with low-end cars for a while. Before the reform and opening up, the foundation of China's auto industry was very weak, and its technical indicators were far behind the international first-line level. This situation did not change until China allowed foreign car companies to establish joint ventures in China. This path is undoubtedly correct. The joint venture not only effectively avoids the monopoly of foreign car companies, but also enables Chinese car companies to learn advanced management experience and first-class production technology from foreign car companies to a large extent. In addition, a large number of auto parts companies have emerged in order to match the production of automobiles, which has also promoted China's rapid formation of its own automobile industry chain. By the turn of the century, China's auto industry had gradually matured, and a large number of independent auto companies were born. So, how did Chinese cars get rid of cheap and low-end labels step by step? Okay, as for today's video, let's dive deep into this issue. In 2021, global automakers struggled due to unfavorable factors such as the COVID-19, chip shortages, and soaring raw material prices. However, China's auto market, driven by its own brands, is booming, with both production and sales exceeding the 26 million, ending the 3-year decline since 2018. At the same time, China's own brands not only strongly boosted the growth of China's auto market with a market share of 44%, a new high in 3 years, but also developed the trend of brand growth to overseas markets. Data show that China's vehicle exports in 2021 will be about 2.015 million, double the 995,000 in 2020. This data not only set a new high for China's auto export record, but also broke the bottleneck that the export of self-owned brands has been hovering at 1 million vehicles for a long time. At the same time, this data has already shown signs of the export business where independent brands have made great progress. Because for a long time, although China has always been a big country in automobile production, in terms of export, compared with many other export-oriented automobile production and manufacturing countries, especially those countries with automobile industry heritage and brand influence, there is still a big gap. Even in the past 3 years, China's annual car exports have hovered at the 1 million level. Therefore, it broke through the bottleneck of 1 million vehicles and entered a new level of 2 million vehicles last year, which also set a new tone for China's independent auto brands to go international market. In the first half of 2022, China's auto exports has made another breakthrough. In the first half of this year, Chinese car companies still achieved a year-on-year growth of 47.1%, achieving 1.218 million vehicle exports. This was achieved in the context of the limited capacity of some maritime ports due to the impact of the epidemic. The most intuitive thing is that in June, in the first month after the resumption of work in Shanghai and other places, independent car companies exported 249,000 vehicles, a year-on-year increase of 57.4%. It is obvious that if there is no capacity limit, more freighters full of Chinese vehicles will depart from major ports in the first half of the year and head to all over the world. Under the performance of this great growth, it is the joint efforts of major independent brand car companies. Among them, SAIC Motor has exported a total of 167,000 vehicles in the first half of the year. Chery Automobile exported 148,200 vehicles in the first half of the year. Others such as Great Wall, Chang'an, Geely, and Dongfeng also ushered in different degrees of breakthroughs in the first half of this year. Under the leadership of leading export enterprises, China's independent auto brands are also entering the era of export in a true sense. While the export of self-owned brands is moving to a new level, the export of new energy vehicles is gratifying. In addition to the efforts of traditional car companies to develop new energy, many new Chinese brands, including Speng and NIO, are also moving forward on the road to expand overseas markets. In other words, the increase in China's auto exports in the first half of this year is not only related to the recovery of the international market, the improvement of Chinese brand competitiveness, and the more comprehensive overseas layout of auto companies, but also to factors such as the growth of new energy vehicle exports. In the first half of this year, a total of 202,000 self-owned brand new energy vehicles were exported, a year-on-year increase of 1.3 times, accounting for 16.6% of total vehicle exports. Last year, this figure was 173,300. What a significant increase! This performance did not come easily. As early as 2017 to 2019, new energy vehicles were also exported to a certain extent, but the passenger vehicles at that time were basically miniature low-speed electric vehicles, and the plug-in hybrid models exported in 2020 should also be the resale products of the joint venture. Unlike the first half of this year, it has become a key factor driving the increase in China's auto exports. Compared with traditional car companies, the road to export of new energy car companies is even more bumpy. You must know that the growth of the traditional car company segment comes from the system construction of independent brands over the years, which contains the formulation and implementation of various globalization strategies and the experience and lessons learned over the years, making it continue to grow in the fuel vehicle segment. Thanks to the scale and the system, the starting point, vehicle book, brand foundation, of traditional car companies in new energy vehicles is also much higher. But for the new energy car companies, in China, they are still in the stage of climbing sales. In foreign countries, they are still in the primary stage of export. Fortunately, China's new power car companies are willing to take the road of exporting, and exchange short-term difficulties for the possibility of long-term improvement. Although the sales were not good and the system was difficult to build, they responded with no sales target, layout first. Because they know that exporting is not achieved overnight. If the whole system is implemented on a large scale, it is necessary to invest large-scale funds in R&D, production, maintenance and other links, and also wait for feedback in the passage of time like traditional car companies. However, the advantage of the new energy car companies is that China's electric vehicle industry chain is already in a leading position in the world, and the new energy is undoubtedly a breakthrough to go overseas. In the past, when the Chinese market is hot, China autonomous car companies lag behind the world's advanced level in core technology. The dominant state-owned auto companies generally have problems such as low efficiency and insufficient R&D capabilities, which make their own brands greatly limited in the competition with traditional auto powerhouses when they expand overseas markets. All in all, time has changed, with the improvement of the competitiveness of independent brands and the rise of new energy car companies. Chinese car companies and overseas car companies stand on the new electrified track. In the context of the vigorous advancement of the global energy revolution, the baton of China's automobile exports has also been passed from fuel vehicles to new energy vehicles. In the course of this era, the image of Chinese cars overseas is expected to be further revised. Okay, that's all for today. Do you want to learn about more auto stories? Please keep following our channel and like our videos. See you.